bit what Lonnie's question to you is don't you believe that's where the industry needs to go to? I mean, and as we're doing it ourselves, we truly believe that this idea, this BCB way of focusing on safety as a primary deal to do business, I really believe that's necessary in this industry.
Well, it's the nature of the beast. I mean, that's what the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, CVSA, is all about. CVSA isn't made up of law enforcement. Okay, CVSA is made up of law enforcement, the feds, and industry. So it's like when we have these conferences annually that we go to, it's law enforcement and it's feds and it's industry that are at these conferences, and everybody has a say-so at the table.
Nice.
See, it's not just law enforcement comes in and says this is how it's going to be. It's not the feds that come in and say this is how it's going to be. Industry has a voice in this. All these publications that we have as far as the out of service criteria that is established by CVSA. That's what it is. It's those three. It's the industry. It's the feds and it's law enforcement that all come together, sit at a table, and they decide what is the safest way to operate commercially on our roadways.
Wow.
So, and that's what I'm saying. That's the nature of it. You know, it's natural to be this way, and any other way is just, you know, ludicrous. I mean, you can't drive these big trucks and these big trailers and not have some sort of guidance and enforcement to keep everybody safe.
I love that.
You know, and that's why it's important that companies like yours do what y'all do, because we all have to work together to make this thing work right.
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a couple of more questions, and that way we'll make sure that we get Officer Foster back out there checking on trucks. And just so everybody knows, we're going to continue to do this. We're going to continue. He's going to come in quarterly every, is that fair to say?
Yeah, we'll try to do this, you know, about 4 times a year.
That'll
see
work.
What we can work out.
Yeah, and what we'll do is we'll focus on certain things maybe, or what have you, or if you have a certain messages you would like to bring to the table, we would definitely like to hear them. What other question do you have?
All right, Andy, what do you got for us? Andy Hallgarth, how are you doing this morning? I believe I should be able to get you going there. Andy, what do you got for us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. What's going on, Andy?
Okay, so as professional Class A CDL drivers, we are held up to a higher standard out on the roadway. If Officer Foster, sees a four-wheeler cutting off a big truck, like jumping right dead in front of him or tailgating him, what action does he take, if any? And also, when you drive around the Metroplex in around Louisville, Kentucky, they have highway signs that tells the four-wheelers to allow more space for the big trucks or they get a ticket. And that is something that needs to be around 287 and also the Metroplex around Dallas-Fort Worth.
She brings up a good point. She's talking about that they feel like they're encroached on their space a lot. They do everything they can to maximize their space, and they feel like they're encroached a great deal without GQ public understanding the danger.
Yeah. Well, you started it off by saying I'm a professional driver, and that's exactly right. You're a professional driver. And a lot of the traveling public, they're not professional drivers. You understand a lot of things like all the states have slow down or move over laws.
Yes.
And whether I'm in my patrol car or I'm in my personal vehicle and I'm traveling or doing whatever, if I'm driving down an interstate and I see a passenger car or a wrecker driver or a police vehicle or whoever is off on the shoulder of the road, 95% of the time, if there's a truck, tractor, and a trailer in front of me, they're trying to slow down or they're trying to find a way to move over before they encounter that roadside car off the shoulder of the road.
Absolutely.
You guys are professionals. You know that. I can't tell you how many times I'm standing on the side of the road and I've got somebody that I've stopped on the highway and there's cars buzzing by me a foot or so off my rear end doing 70 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. They're not moving over. Texas law requires you to drop 20 miles an hour below the posted limit if you can't. They're not professional drivers. They don't know that. Bus drivers and truck drivers know that. They always move over, you know. So, and to answer your question, if I'm in a position that I can safely get out and make a stop on that vehicle that just cut you off or was tailgating you or driving in an unsafe manner around you, that's an enforceable violation, and I can get out and make a stop on them safely? Of course I do. Of course I do. It's always been amazing to me how people cannot fathom how hard it is for you guys, for the drivers, to be able to maneuver that big piece of equipment, whether it's changing lanes, slowing down. It amazes me that what people do about how they operate around truck drivers. So yeah, whenever I see violation around a driver, around a commercial vehicle, if I can safely make a contact with that person, I definitely do.
Well, I'll tell you what, Officer Foster, we do appreciate you coming out today, and we look forward to when you can come out again. We'll schedule this in. We'll make sure that we work on maybe a good topic to work on next time you come in. I want everybody here, everybody that I know every driver wants to say thank you for not only your service, thank you for what it is you do out there on the road every day, and also we want to be safe, and we want the other drivers on the road safe as well. Believe it or not, we want them to lead by example as well. And we appreciate all the hard work that you do and the effort that you make out there, man. It is great to know that you're there and that you're there for the drivers and you're there for the public, and we appreciate you.
Well, I thank you for that, and I appreciate what the drivers do. That's one of the things I always try to say when I finish an inspection, is that I appreciate what you guys do as well.
Well, I thank you very much. And hey, everybody, I hope everybody has a great day, a fantastic day. And we just want to say, hey, man, reach out, send an email, send an email to BCB live at bcbtransport.com, thanking Officer, and we'll make sure that we pass on those emails, we pass on those messages, and we get the information to him that shows that we much appreciate him coming in today. I want everybody to be safe, be careful, and be mindful out there on the road. Remember to be a blessing upon somebody else today by not only taking care of yourself, but by taking care of the person next to you each and every day. With that, God bless, Godspeed, and drop the mic.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to BCB Live. You have the Sir Rick, you have the producer, and right here, Drive Safe Dave, we're having just a lovely discussion.
Not at all.
All over the place. It's about the economy, and we started off just our conversation today talking about the CPI, in which he knew nothing about, and now he knows everything about inflation. He is Mr. Inflation. I can explain everything to you. The government's got to get involved, and I'm like, dude, which side are you on? Pick a side and just stick with it, Dave.
That's not what
Good
I
morning,
said.
sir.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I didn't say how are you. I said good morning, sir.
I just prefaced it by I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I don't try not to say that. Hey, listen, the Colonial is back up and running, right?
Yep.
So we got the oil.
5 p.m.
It's
last night.
the gas line is back up. Did they end up having to pay or not? Do we know?
No, I don't know.
I believe they did, because that was the only way they were able to get the ransomware to go off initially anyways. That's the way that ransomware works, is it will lock your system out until you pay off that money. Colonial
just
hasn't.
undisclosed. They don't have to disclose if
They don't have to
paid or
disclose
not.
if they paid or not. Yeah, so they probably did pay to get it back
Something
online.
they probably paid. They probably negotiated.
Yeah, I wonder if they like pricked their thumbs and did, hey, let's blood brothers, let's make sure we're never gonna do that again to one another, right?
Oh,
You're
my
never gonna
goodness.
do it. But I will say that there is honor amongst these thieves because they are very well known that once they say they're not gonna do it again, they don't do it.
Hey, and you know what? They actually said, like we covered a couple days ago, hey, we weren't trying to shut the whole world down. We just wanted a little bit of money. Sorry, we're not going to go after any schools. No more government agencies. No more anything like that. Anything vaccine distribution sites. We'll keep our hands off. We're only going to go after the bad guys,
Yeah,
right?
and they donate to to the children's things.
What is the
10%
children's thing?
They tithe
What
to the
children's
church.
thing
Can it
they-
be all that bad if they're tithing as well with that money drive safe?
Yes, it's bad. That's like saying, well, as long as when I rob the bank, as long as I give a little bit of money to UNICEF, I'm good.
It's
Hey,
God's
Robin
work.
Hood, right? Robin Hood.
Hey, inflation, we were talking about that. There's some worries, and it's not worries anymore. In Drive Safe, I guess, on the inflation side, we've really got to be careful what we talk about on this show because we spoke about it yesterday, and now all of a sudden, once again, it's big time news.
Thank you. I think that they're listening, they're getting the word out, they're finding out what's going on in the show, and now they've got experts hitting the
Oh,
screen.
yes. Yes, with a graph, much like we have.
So the
isn't
Dow,
it?
well, and when the Dow takes a downward tick of a lot of points, everybody starts to freak out as to why, right? And that is the most up and down market in the world. And when the Dow makes a slide, it seems that the Nikkei and all the others.
Yeah, when you had the London and Tokyo, they dropped 2.5%, because of what happened here in the
Oh, yeah.
U.S. And U.S. futures are also expected to go. And we were talking about the CPI, and what we learned is that none of us in here knows what that means.
we know it's a basket of goods, but we're not sure what basket of goods. We're not sure if it's diapers or milk. We're not sure what it is, but we know that it is a basket of goods.
Yes, and if it's high, that means if it's higher than what we thought it was going to be, then there's inflation, I guess.
So they said, yeah, groceries are up. And have you noticed that groceries are up at all? Have you noticed when you go to the grocery store?
Yeah, no.
I haven't either.
Well, I know meat, but meat's been up for a while,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
The
yeah.
price of
I will say
I think
haven't
it's been up ever since they had
I
the
haven't
short-
really noticed groceries themselves being up. It seems like produce is a little bit more expensive, at least in terms of like.
I mean, what do you?
Fruit,
You don't eat
vegetables,
enough
things like
food to
that.
know anyway.
Right.
I mean, what are you? 115
And what is that,
pounds?
the avocado up because it's out of season? What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, fruit. Maybe you're right.
What are you talking about? Of course it's up a little bit. It's out of season.
He probably uses that avocado too. He probably, after he's done eating, he drenches it. Then it becomes avocado oil for the hair,
yeah,
for
no,
the skin.
I
Mashes the pit.
mash it up and I put it in the pan. I cook my eggs in it. It's a whole thing.
I mean, do you even know how much tomatoes are a pound, if you had to guess? No.
It depends on the tomato.
What is
There's
this? The
different
prices,
types.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
What is, come on.
We have a vine of grape tomatoes. What are we thinking here?
And you could be the winner if the price is right.
Hey, but in more serious news, hey, I-40 bridge going across, Tennessee, Arkansas.
nightmare that is.
It's shut down, and they're expected to be shut down for a couple of weeks just to do the inspection. Drive safe, Dave.
That's crazy.
Just to do the inspection.
And by the way, did you look at it? That doesn't even look like a crack. It looks like a break.
Yeah.
Did you see that? That's
see
not a crack. That's,
Yeah, along the trestle. And you know what else, though? Here we go again. We talk about the Suez Canal. Well, also involved in this is there's no water traffic along. There's over 400 barges as well not able to pass on both directions.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, that's
400.
That's crazy. And if you lock up the miss,
It's locked. It is locked.
Yeah, and it's all locked over this crack right here,
Ugh.
which is a pretty big structural
That's not a
fault.
crack. I'm pretty sure that's a break. If that was your leg, that would be a break, right?
Yeah, would that be a fracture or that'd be a break? I'm going to go with you on this one, Drive Safe. That's a break.
It's a
Yeah,
break.
it's not a
That might even be a
hairline
compound. It might
fracture.
even be sticking out of your bone. I mean, that's pretty severe right there. But, we don't need a catastrophic event happening Yeah, you don't need
there's
that
no
thing.
doubt. So it is a 50-year-old bridge, and you know, it made me start thinking. You know, one of the worries, and I think we spoke about this when regarding platooning. Okay, you know, oh, we're going to have to platooning. Once we get these trucks working, they can run closer together, they can platoon. But you know what? Our infrastructure is not ready for that. I promise you.
No.
This is just another example. Can the bridges handle these big trucks following so close together?
You know, I think
a lot of weight on a bridge.
I think they're actually met with the president, both bipartisanship. They met with the president just yesterday or the day before yesterday. They met on the infrastructure and setting up a package to start developing. And they were, you know, some people were talking as much as a couple of $1 billion, and then the other party was talking about $1 billion and not the electric cars. But there was a lot going on. I think both sides, both parties believe that infrastructure is necessary, and this is just going to add to the fuel that demonstrates how important it is that we continue to reapply this money and rebuild our infrastructure. And that infrastructure is paramount to our success here in the trucking industry. I mean,
but not just our trucking. So the infrastructure is more than just that. It goes into the cybersecurity as well.
It goes into cybersecurity, and I was also going to touch on the point that they are also trying to bring back a national. You know how in the FDR's New Deal, whenever they were creating the national or creating the trails around national parks and setting up like firehouses out in a lot of the national parks and trying to reforest parts of the country, they're actually looking to reestablish that, which could bring upwards of, I believe they said 100 to 200,000 jobs for people to go out and build up the infrastructure, build firehouses, build cabins out in these
the New Deal did
places.
put millions to work in creating not only like the Tennessee River Valley Authority, which created all the dams and the structures all throughout the East Coast, but I will tell you it is necessary to create. Jobs are going to be created when you do this package because they're going to have to build, and when they build, you're going to have to put people to work.
Yeah, and I believe a lot of that was also like they're trying to put up telephone poles in places that don't have access to that internet or remote rural areas.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that's actually going to be put into that, at least in just that department that they're trying to establish.
I will tell you though that interstate commerce was generally created by and envisioned by what we have by Eisenhower in creating the interstate systems that we have today, and those are primary to the success, as we all know, of commerce in this country with trucks out there on the road. That was actually developed by Eisenhower. He wanted the interstate system. More importantly, he wanted it for truck traffic and to move goods and services across this country, not necessarily for automobiles, but automobiles came by as a secondary explosion because people got out on the highways and started traveling.
And hitchhiking. I mean, if you could hitchhike along a highway, the chances of getting picked up were a lot easier when it's an interstate as opposed to just out there on the grass, right?
Route 66,
yeah.
as opposed to Route.
Hey, on this, one more thing on this, on the barges. So drive safe, they carry crude oil, mainly, a lot of rocks, and guess what else they carry? Corn. Okay. So we're having a corn shortage. Now here we go. Now we got this thing.
Oh
Seriously?
wow! And you know, corn will spoil. I mean, they can't keep it for. I mean, oil won't spoil, rocks won't spoil, but corn is a perishable good. So I mean, that makes it even more hard because they have a time frame on those.
Yeah, and you know, people are kind of feeling the hardships of that. It's harder and harder to get money from shipping things out and from typical commerce. So now people such as a bartender in California are turning to other methods of income. And if you're like him, then you were selling COVID-19 vaccine cards that you forged in your basement and were selling to people for $20 a pop.
Drive safe. You have any thoughts on that?
It's treason.
Is it treason?
Yeah,
It's treason.
It's federal. It's forging a federal document that can be used.
First of all, we don't even know if the shots work. All right, what's the difference in getting a fake shot?
How do we not know that
You're getting that saline is all they're putting inside you. It's a mental thing. Drive safe, Dave. When you think positive, when you think good things, and when you spread the light and share the light.
So that's what you're going with.
That's what I'm going with.
The moon didn't.
You know
we
what?
didn't
He's
actually travel
doing
to
no
the moon.
different than these. You know, It's a card. Is all it is.
It's just
And
a
if
card.
it makes you feel better, if it makes you feel like you're bulletproof, then there's a lot to that. Drive safe.
Wow. I'm sorry to say that I disagree wholeheartedly. I think vaccines work. I think vaccines help people in humanity, and I think they will continue to do so. And for some people to not appreciate their value in our lives and in what they and who they save, it's sad.
Yeah, I think the measles was like a word with whatever we were just talking about there. The measles, polio, lots of things. But yeah, so this guy was selling vaccine cards, and he would also laminate them for you so they don't get dirty, they don't get ripped up or anything. So they were legit cards. I don't even have mine laminated, so maybe I should have gone to him, spent $20.
No, you shouldn't have gone to him. I get it. Now we're celebrating. Now we're celebrating the illegal tactics of not only the ransomware people, but the people selling fake government documents. I guess it's okay to just go out and get a fake passport.
Well,
now,
there's a lot of this going on, and going back into college along the same lines. There's a lot of cheaters going on, Drive Safe. And is it wrong for them that they're stuck at home working, right, producer? You're stuck there, you're working, and now there's these websites that say, hey, I can get your work done for you, and you know what? I'll do it very good, and nobody will ever know.
Yeah.
Even in your school, A&M, they were listed on there as one of the ones that have all these kids cheating. Drive Safe.
Oh, and I'll tell you,
you're associated with a cheater now.
Oh, come on! West Point just suspended last week. Suspended like 3 cadets for permanently.
I believe it was dozens of cadets who were caught cheating.
Like 3 were suspended permanently, and more were sent back a year. Like they have to go through the whole year again. They were given the choice of either leaving or repeating the year that they had just spent, which makes them
makes it a pretty easy year. You're gonna review everything you've already reviewed. Well, is that really punishment?
It is kind of punishment.
Yeah. Well, how does he know all these answers? He's only a freshman.
Oh,
yeah, if you got to do freshman year again at West
cheating.
Point, if you got to do the freshman year at West Point, that sucks.
So A&M, here's how in some of these colleges, how they found this out was they gave everybody different tests with questions on it. And that way they looked on the websites, not the dark web, but some kind of website that posts these questions. And then they could tell that Dylan asked the question, because Dylan's the only one that had that question. And these questions are going up on that. They brought him in here, and these kids are just confessing for lesser crimes,
Yeah. It was one incident, the one that you're talking about, where they gave separate questions for all the students, and it involved 193 students who all self-reported that they had cheated to receive a lighter punishment. And that means that there has been a 50% increase in cheating allegations just at A&M, and overall a 71% increase in cheating over the course of this past year.
So let me tell you something. The kids are working are doing school from home, and their friends come over. I've seen more study groups than I've ever seen before, and I'm going to go study groups because they're just cheating. Drive Safe, Dave.
That's sad. That is horrible. And I don't know. I don't agree to it, but I guess in the world of the ransomware, I guess it's just an accepted.
Yes.
Let
me tell you though, there's one thing you can't cheat on, and that's safety. You can't just say, I'm going to get out and look. You've got to get out and look. You can't just say, oh, I did my pre-trip, because when DOT pulls you, when there's an accident and you didn't do it, we find out then, and we don't want to find out right then. It is so important that you do it. You get your homework done. You do your work. You get your pre-trip, your post-trip. You get out and look. You make it happen every single day.
Yeah, you do the BCBs of trucking every single day to ensure that not only that everything's going to be well, but that you have a peace of mind as you get out there on the road, that you're not stressed out. You don't want to ever think back, well, did I check that? Yeah. No, you want to be able to tell yourself, I check it every time.
The BCBs of trucking means that you read the book, you didn't just watch the movie.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't just read the cliff notes. Didn't just use the spark notes, right? You just didn't use the spark notes. You actually did the work that's necessary.
Hey, it's Thursday. Thursday, no phrase that pays today, right?
That is no phrase.
All right. We got Buckle Up Bob coming up next.
Hi, welcome to our rapid fire. Today we've got Dylan, you ready for this?
I am as ready as I can be whenever it comes to something like this. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna dive right in. You like the smell of gasoline?
Kind of. It's nostalgic.
Have you ever tasted soap?
Yes, for sure.
Now, is this because your mom had to
For
put it in your
sure.
mouth?
For sure. Yeah.
What's your favorite carnival food?
Probably either a corn dog, like the really big ones. Those are awesome. Or I guess cotton candy.
Mustard or ketchup?
Yep.
If there's a spider in your house, do you kill it or set it free?
Depends on the kind of spider and who gave me the alert that there's a spider in my house.
Come on. Polka dots or stripes?
Stripes.
Are your grandparents mildly rude?
Not really, actually. Or my dad's side, yes. One of them, my grandpa is, but not my grandparents on my mom's side or my grandma on my dad's side. So
There you go. LA or New York?
never been to either of them, so I guess New York.
Super Mario Brothers or Zelda?
Zelda.
What's your favorite martial art?
Ooh, Kung Fu. Kung Fu.
And lastly, are dogs people?
I think dogs are dogs, but you can communicate with any other living thing. So if that's what constitutes being a person, then yes.
There you go. Thank you for joining us.
Everybody in the office kind of knew the preventable act streak, did not know the get out and look. So right now, just so you know, it's 2 weeks separation. If you know one, you'll know the other one because it's just 14 days.
That's a good
Either
way to,
add or subtract 14 days.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. That's kind of how I know. I was like, well, if I got to remember one, just know that gap between it. Which, if I know the gap, why don't I know the other one anyway? So.
I tell you, not only that, and we talk about it. I'm surprised that not more people knew both because we've been really excited about the number where we're at. I mean, we're fixing to close out a month.
Yes.
Without a single backing accident. And those are genuine, fantastic successes and should be celebrated because everybody's doing what they need to do each and every day to go out and make sure to actually put the truck in park and walk back there and take a look. Because if you don't do that, we end up having what we typically have, right? A bunch in a week.
Yes.
And here we are 4 weeks. And a little bit later, we're doing well and we continue to do the well. So make sure that you continue to do the work, continue to get out. Make sure you continue to put that truck in park and walk back there and take a look at what's going to happen each and every time because you know what? It matters. It genuinely matters. And it's that time where I look back there as I pulled back past it. You can't do that. You can't give that. You can't let your guard down. You want to make sure each and every time before you put that truck in reverse what's going on back there.
Yes, sir. Correct. You are right. And I totally lost where I was going with that, but that's okay.
Why didn't you
move on?
Oh, I'm sorry, Bob.
No, I was listening.
You started talking
intently.
about the get out and look, and
Yeah,
everybody
and
didn't know much about it.
Brian Etchison, instead of giving me the date, the number for the get out and look, he says, we're 9 days from a record. And I said, good job. I said, but what's the record? 29, 38.
So he knows.
But he knew it.
Hey,
he
you just got to do the math.
Yeah, Brian's always got to be that little different, right?
Yeah.
You always got to be a little different.
I'm okay with that.
But I am too. He knew what he knew the point, the big prize out there was the record, and we're getting close to beating it. After hitting it twice in a row,
right,
matching it, we're going to beat it this time. We have every confidence in our fleet, and it is Thankful Thursday. And we've been talking all week about the deadliest that's out there, right? We've already, the 100 days are coming up, the deadliest months, right? The deadliest holidays, 5 of the 6 fall in this 100 days. And then, so today we want to talk about what's the deadliest day of the week. And many can guess this one because it does make a lot of sense. But Saturdays is typically the deadliest days of the week. And 7,000 fatalities a year on average or more happen on a Saturday, probably from drinking on Friday night, right?
Being late into Friday night.
And then the odd one was I would have thought Sunday might have been one, because somebody partied on Saturday, but actually Friday is the second deadliest day of the week. And it is 5,800 fatalities, so about 1,200 less a year on Fridays, but still, just those 2 days average almost 13,000
fatalities a year just on those 2 days of the week. So, again, we believe in educating our drivers. You need to be sharp and focused and alert every single second. We've seen how close calls can happen in a matter of seconds. But, knowing that, hey, I got to be extra, extra careful on these Fridays and Saturdays. And again, it's not you're worried about. It's the crazies that are out there. And as you said, drive safe. And I hate to give you all the credit, but one of the drivers on the afternoon show yesterday said, loved what you said about, hey, the crazy is the normal now. We can't say expect the unexpected because that is the normal.
It is.
Safe driving seems to be the unnormal thing to do out there. And our drivers are doing an excellent job at being not crazy.
And you talk about Fridays and Saturdays, and I can understand why you have a hard week at work and you get paid on a Friday, and you go out and you celebrate the end of the week a little bit, and I can understand why maybe Friday and Saturday and being into the late hours, right?
Yes.
So, and I can see how that could contribute. So make sure that that you're ready, that you understand that the dangers are there, and that the heightened sense of awareness on those dates and those times. I can truly get it, and I understand why.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with it. I think you just got to make that next step decision and get an Uber when you've had too much to drink.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
That's the key. Get somebody to come and get you.
Yeah, call a friend.
Yes.
I tell you what, I've ingrained in my daughter a thousandfold, and she totally understands it. If you've had anything to drink, there'll be no questions asked.
Yes.
The day you get, you need to make the call. I'll just come get you. We may talk about it later, but that day, I'm just coming to get you. And I don't care what time, I don't care where you are, and I don't care how far I have to drive. Just give me a call. I want to do it. It's something that I crave to do, and I'll do whatever it takes. So don't feel like you're embarrassed, or if it's you and some friends, I don't care. I can get y'all all in the vehicle, and we can get you home. And I won't. There'll be no questions that night. We won't say anything that day. So and I think. I really believe that with the MAD campaign and drunk driving, I think it's really turned a corner. But it's still a prevalent problem, right? It is.
Even when you grow up, sometimes it can still be a problem. Quick little story, but my wife does not swear. And in my younger days, I went to a softball tournament I was playing in, and I couldn't find my house. Only time I ever remember I shouldn't have been driving, right, for sure. And that Wednesday, I had a bowling night, and I got ready to leave. She goes, I need you to do me a favor. I said, sure. She kept quiet for 4 days. And all of a sudden, every other word was MF this. I need you to write on an effing note what blah, 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 right? When the police come to me, she got up in the middle of the night at 2:30 in the morning, looked out the bathroom window, and there my car is in the alley, doors open, lights on. I found my house, so I just got out of the car, left it in the alley, and came in and went to bed. So I had no defense. But she said just what you said. She goes, look, I don't have a problem, but you gotta call
Yeah,
me.
you know what? And I think
So it's a great point you made there.
Yeah, it is. It is necessary, and I don't think that we really have that issue with trucking, but our families,
Yes.
right? We need to be considerate, and we need to think about those other people out there on the road, and we need to make sure that we're safe and that we try to keep everything we can safe around us and our families. Whenever you can, just make sure you instill that ideology. Not only with ourselves that we talk about here, but share that knowledge with the people that you love.
Yes.
Because it is important. it is very important that we do what we need to do to make it happen.
Well, and we said Memorial Day was the number 2 deadliest holiday, right?
Wow.
Well, let's stop and think about that. A lot of graduation parties happen on Memorial Day weekend, right?
Oh yeah, that's
So
true.
you've got that because it's a 3-day weekend that you can get family in and you can have the big celebration a lot. So a lot of people schedule them graduation parties. So there's a lot of alcohol involved, and you got the young kids who are celebrating a big achievement, right? They're graduating, getting ready to go to college. So there's just a lot of extra concern that, like you said, with the family. So parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, just talk to them and say, hey,
Yeah.
go out and enjoy yourself, but do not get behind the wheel or in a car with somebody else. Call. We'll come and get you.
I
right?
appreciate that, Bob.
Absolutely.
That's a good point to make today.
So, again, we do have some weather. Guess what it is? Drive safe.
Rain,
No.
wind,
No.
snow.
No. Boy, you are 0 for 3.
Is it anything? Do we
It's
have
sunshine.
nothing?
It's nothing but sunshine. Folks, for the next 24 to 36 hours.
I got taken on that one.
But you're going to see it is just, here's the wind. So we'll just go on out in the wind. You can see not bad at noon. Nothing really going on.
Not really.
6.
Not really.
Nothing really going on.
Nice.
Right? Then it starts to die down when we wake up in the morning. Nothing really going on. Rain. Got a little bit of storms tomorrow. Not much. You can see it's not the severe kind in the middle of Kansas today.
Not much.
Just some scattered showers. Nothing in the severe category at all. And then 11 to noon, you can see we got a lot of sunshine, folks, and no wind. So enjoy. Get out there and make
Right.
some money. But don't speed and tailgate to do it, right? But yeah, we get a break, and this is going to be for the next 24 to 36 hours. All the storms are out in the ocean, so unless you're planning a boat trip, you may have some issues. But again, no weather to really speak of
Good
for the
news.
next 24, 36. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to set you up, but that worked pretty
You got
good.
me.
Potential sleep inertia. Again, I'm not a doctor, but you're just not quite got that good judgment. You know, it's hard when you're a little dazed, even though you're awake and you're not fully alert. Okay, 15 feet may look like 40 feet, right? And your speed may feel, if you're not driving by your gauges, you may feel like you're going slow and you look down and you're not. It's just some little things that can lead to all that, right? Drive safe?
Absolutely. We look at the video and we all know, that it's not right. We all understand that, we ran a red light, and we all understand, and we want to go back and try to figure out what we can do better.
The root cause.
Yeah, and we believe that, and I would tend to agree with you that maybe we didn't react well, or we didn't set ourselves up for success on this stale green light. We didn't genuinely be prepared to stop. Or we were distracted in a little way, and it could be distracted by the sleep, the fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
So I truly believe this stems all the way back to being totally distracted by what's going on and not being prepared on that stale green light to stop. And it just, everything else came about, and we all know that, and we've spoken to the driver, and we see that in the videos. I just want everybody to see and learn from this video, and the idea that we have made great strides in intersections in stale green lights. We don't want to go backwards. We don't want to change the progress that we've made. So it's great that you show the videos, that we continue to learn from them and continue to see exactly what's going on in these on that light. I understand what happened. I see what unfolded, and we just got to continue not to do it. We got to continue to make a better effort in not letting that happen right there, because luckily it was a three-way stop and not a genuine cross intersection, and it wasn't crowded, and it wasn't and I can see how that also played into not being so focused on what's going on, because it is so quiet, it is so early in the morning. So but we've got to be prepared, because you never know what are some of the best running lights we've seen are at night, right?
Yes.
People just flying through intersections, and we would set ourselves up for a bad problem here if we had been in a busy intersection and we had run the red light.
Yes, and and I want to give a little bit of a shout out to the DMs, even the night shift, because we've been focused on getting them more involved with the drivers and these videos, and they're taking on that challenge really well. Because I had an email from Sean at night who talked to the driver, and then Hector followed up because it was his driver, I believe. So he followed up with him during the early morning hours when he came in as well, and just so we got to show the driver we were concerned, a lot. Which we are. I mean, because there's something that just wasn't right about that. That, as the producer said, it just didn't seem like a flagrant, I'm going too fast and I'm going to blow through this thing. And so that just leads you to start looking at that root cause. Hey, don't forget that if you're not awake,
are you okay?
Take some extra time.
And are you okay? Yeah. Are you okay? Are you feeling well? Is everything all right? We want to make sure that genuinely make sure that the captain is ready.
Yes.
And sometimes you just have to be asked one more time. Are you okay? Are you ready? And then if you're not genuinely sure it's time to pull over, get out, walk around, get you a cup of coffee, give yourself a moment, and do what you can to be safe.
Yeah, and there were actually a couple of good points here in the chat as well. Tommy Jones mentioned that the road was wet, so maybe there was a misjudging on how quickly the driver could stop. And then also, if you were going through an intersection, you realize too late that you can't stop, maybe lay on the horn a little bit so that you can get the attention of everybody else and they are aware of what's happening while you're rolling through there. We also have Alan Arnold on the line.
Mr. Arnold.
What's going on, Alan?
What do you have for us today, sir?
Love the discussion, everybody. That's what we do this for. We need your input and some things we don't think about. So, again, great job.
You're unmuted, Arnold or Alan. Hold on, we just have a. There you
Okay.
go. What do you got for us?
Hey, you got to take into consideration some other factors too. Okay. Um, for example, say you're running through the city, heavy traffic during the day or whatnot, temperature's up, you're stressed, your eyes are tired, and then you get outside of the city, shut down, and it takes a while for your body to get out of that stress mode.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start up. Then you start up again. You know. Now when you start up, the temperature's dropped. You know, and I know that plays a factor on myself because I'm just not as motivated when it's 70 degrees during the day and then 40 at night, and I wake up and I'm just like, ugh, you know. So you got to take those factors into consideration too, um, with that still green lights. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just something to think about. It's something to think about.
Yeah, Alan, great points. You know, we're all different, right? When I was younger, I didn't need a whole lot of sleep. Now I don't sleep very well. I could sleep anytime, and now I can't. And so, as your body goes through changes and stuff, you're going to handle things differently. And everybody is different. You know, my wife could fall asleep in 5 minutes anywhere, anytime. I cannot. You know, and so it's just one of those things where you got to know that. Like Alan says, hey, I know that when it's cold at night, I'm not anxious to get up and get moving. And so therefore, you know, you kind of wait till the last minute a lot of times, right?
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
jump in the truck and you haven't done that fully awakeness and got alert. So because you just don't want to get out in 40-degree weather and walk around a silly truck, right?
I agree. And
that's a great point.
I also, in understanding how we are and what we do can make adjustments on what we're talking. But when we see these stale green lights, we need to approach them the same way every time.
Yes.
We need to approach them with an appreciation that they may change, and that we need to be prepared to stop. Yes. And that needs to be the practice and the focus that we look at. And I understand being tired, and I understand being distracted, but what I'm saying is, if we approach these that way and we understand them to be that way, and these stale green lights have the potential to change on us, and they will, that we definitely need to be prepared, and we approach them all the same way, we're going to have a genuine success going forward. What you got for me?
Yeah. No, and you know, one of the things that helps the office to understand too, especially the DMs, the planners, and all that is, you know, one of the most stressful things you can do in a day is drive. You know, and if you've ever driven a long trip, you'll figure that out, right?
And I understand how difficult it can be, but I will tell you, these moments right here, these are the times when you just need to let them be crazy and back off and be the slow obstacle on the road, yes. Right? Just be the slow obstacle. You're the slow obstacle anyway.
Yep.
You know, you're not changing anything about what you're doing. Just slow down, back off, and make slow, constant, and well-signaled changes if you need to. What you got, Dylan? I see these
Yeah.
videos, and we continue to look at them and talk about them. And right here, our speed and our space is taken from us every second.
Yep.
And it's going to happen. And we just got to be prepared.
Yeah, our speed was 44 miles there.
No, I get it.
So that driver was doing a great job creeping. Somebody takes it. Okay, that's when you just got to keep backing off. Maybe put your flashers on, because if the speed limit's 60, 65, you're 20 under. Let's signal everybody around that, hey, there's some traffic issues above. So one of the things is they're still going to pass you, but maybe they're not mad now, right? There's well, he signaled there's a problem, so I'm going to go around him. But
Yeah.
I'm going to take it a little bit easier when I go around him versus just flying. Yeah, so you got, producer?
Yeah, we got Jeff Marsh on the line. What do you got for us, sir?
Yeah, talking about that, called it canal, but it's actually called canyon. But anyways, talking about that downtown canyon. Um, since they put that H, since they put that zipper HOV up. Well, when you come off, like say if you're coming off of 30, or even if it's 35, when you come onto 30, uh, right as you come under that first bridge, you lose that left lane automatically. And then if they got the zipper open, okay, you go up, and you lose that next lane, because that next lane is the one that they're using to for the the HOV and everything. So you lose 2 lanes coming in there and all this stuff, and so everybody takes it to as far as they can go, and then they start trying to cut you off, all that stuff. So you gotta be mindful of all these drivers who cut you off because their lane's going to end, and a lot of these drivers, a lot of these 4-wheelers know that it's going to end, but they still want to take it to that end and then cut you off and everything. You gotta really be mindful that you're going to lose 2 lanes if the zipper's open. If the zipper's not open, then you're only going to lose 1 lane.
Absolutely. Appreciate that, Jeffrey. It's time for
Pache R.
Good morning. It is Thankful Thursday, and once again, want to say how thankful we are for all of our drivers and all of our office employees. I'm just thankful to be able to come here every day and work with each of you. So I'm very appreciative of that. Also wanted to talk real briefly to company drivers and also office employees about paid time off. So just wanted to mention real quickly, please keep in mind that if you are taking any time off, if you have a sick day, something comes up, you need to go to the doctor for the day, however that works, you do need to use any paid time off available before you can use unpaid time off. So as long as you've got those 8 hours to cover that day, you do need to use that. You cannot be saving it for future vacation or anything like that. If it's there, you need to use it before you can do unpaid time off. So with that, today we have one birthday, and it is for John Williams. So happy birthday, John. And everyone, as I say every day, please continue to wear those masks, wash your hands, use that antibacterial, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
All right, everybody, it's Dave Dover. Drive Safe Dave, I'm here. It is Driver of the Month. We have the esteemed, the well-celebrated, and the fantastic Jason Cree. How you doing, Jason?
Pretty good, Dave. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, you know what it means to be the Driver of the Month around here. Do you have any idea what it truly means to be Driver of the Month?
No, sir.
Well, let me tell you what it means. Let me really tell you what it means to me. Now, it may mean a lot to everybody else, but to me, what it means is that everyone in the office, it's not just a random choice. It's not just something that we draw names out of a hat. What we do is we go around and we talk to many driver managers. We talk to operations manager. We talk to the planners. And we talk to safety. And we usually come to a consensus decision on a driver that we want to demonstrate our appreciation by giving them the title of Driver of the Month. It means a lot. And number one, it means a lot with safety, and then it means a lot with how you do your business and the professionalism that you carry. So I don't want anybody to ever think that the Driver of the Month is not well-deserved or not well appreciated. And I wanted to say from all of us here, thank you for a great job you do, and thank you for doing it, not only a great job, but doing it in the manner in which you do it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You know, there's so much, rarely, it is so hard actually around here sometimes to get that proverbial pat on the back. Do you know what I'm talking about, producer? we all around here can't, but this is our chance to do that, and that's to do that with a driver, and especially what's going on. Where are you at? I kind of know where you are, but why don't you tell everybody where you're at right now, what's going on?
Well, right now I'm shut down up here in Lyman, taking my break. Just picked up in Denver, headed down to Fort Worth.
How's the weather up there right now? Is it a little cooler than normal?
Yeah, it's about, say, in the 50s, 60s, but it's partly cloudy. I can see blue skies and sun shining, so there's no snow. I'm happy on that.
Hey, 50, 60, partly cloudy, blue skies. Seriously? That right there is like a dream come true, isn't it?
Up here, yeah. Up here in this area.
So not only do we want to celebrate the fact that you're the Driver of the Month, but we want to kind of celebrate a little bit about you to get to know you a little bit better. And in order to do that, we kind of need to know, hey, where are you from?
Originally San Antonio. I live out in East Texas up by Mount Vernon.
You do. When you were, did you grow up out? Did you grow up in the San Antonio area? Did you? Is that where you went to high school and stuff?
No, I went to high school in Keller, around by Dallas,
Oh,
north of Fort Worth.
seriously?
Yeah, I did elementary up to junior high and my sophomore in high school in Keller. And then my parents moved me to Tatum out in the BFE out there south of Longview, Texas. And I finished up out there.
Do you have any? Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Two sisters, one brother. My brother used to drive for Warner, so he's kind of the super trucker type. But
And your sisters, where do they live? Do they
yeah.
still do they live in East Texas, or do they move on?
I got one in Ohio, one still lives in Longview.
Oh, nice, nice. You got a bunch of nieces and nephews, or?
I got one niece.
Oh, you do? Do you, hey, so do you? Are you married? Do you have any children?
Yeah, I'm married 7 years. I've got two of my stepkids, 12, 13, and I have my oldest daughter. She'll be 22 this month.
Oh, nice. Well, you know what? 12 and 13. Are they boys? You said they were boys?
No, they're girls.
Oh, they are? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That just too much
No, I have
wonderful.
all girls.
You got too much wonderful in one house.
Yeah, I have all girls, no boys.
Trust me. I'm so sorry. You are outmanned, outgunned, and right. You got very little you can get done over there, right?
Yeah, that's why when I get tired, I go get on my Harley.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Really? What kind of Harley you got?
Somehow.
What kind of Harley Davidson do you have? Why don't you tell me what it is? What kind of bike you ride?
I ride an '08 Harley Road King, Cop Edition blue with the stripe.
And I got a question for you, Jay. Do you wear a helmet or do you not wear a helmet?
I wear a helmet, unless I'm just riding around the park down there because I live on the lake. Unless I'm just riding down the park back and forth, but I usually wear a helmet, and it's actually a rule in the riding club that I'm with that we have to have helmets.
Oh,
So
nice.
we think about safety first. I am the road captain of the club, so we think about safety, constantly.
Oh, nice. You know, I used to ride a bike, and after I had a helmet on when I laid down my first bike, and I won't ever not get on it again I won't ever get on a motorcycle without a helmet again because I woke up with the helmet split, and if that hadn't have been the helmet been split, it'd been my head.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Helmets save lives right there. Loud pipes and helmets.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. So, how long you get out on you got a riding club that you are the captain of? How often do you get an opportunity to ride in the summertime and in the spring? You as much as you can.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we rode a lot this winter because it wasn't that cold, except for the cold snap, snow and ice we had. But we got a planned trip going up for a kind of a kids benefit up in Broken Bow the first weekend of June.
Oh, that'll be really nice. That'll be really nice. Broken Bow's gorgeous up there.
And I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody at BCB for whoever donated this last Christmas for our toy run that y'all let me broadcast on here. I want to take the opportunity from the whole club and myself. Thank you for everybody that did help out them kids. We ended up raising altogether around $1,500 for the 4 families.
Wow, that's fantastic. So tell us a little bit about that charity that you did, about what you did. Do you plan on doing it again this year?
Oh, we've done it every year for the last 3 years. It's going to be a 4th year this year. First year we did it with another club that's around East Texas. We teamed up with them. We did about 10 families. In the last couple of years, we've gone upon ourselves to do it, and we've helped about 4 to 5 families a year. Trying to make, especially with COVID this year, we tried to go, above and beyond because of everything that happened last year, and we're going to do it again this year. You know, I mean, it's something that we go through a vetting process, and we don't just take any name given to us. We actually see if they need it, and go through the process there. My president handles all that.
You know, it's crazy, isn't it, Jason, to just know how many people truly do need help. And you know, it's nice to know that you take time out of your holiday and that you work to to raise money and to create a little bit better environment during the holidays, right, for families. That's super.
You're breaking up again. I'm sorry.
Just about how many people in
Well,
your
hold on.
club that work to actually get that done, that drive. How many people work together to help to create that make that happen?
Well, we had at the whole club. We had 6 members of us helping it out, and then we had our significant others helping on the sidelines. And we got a decent donation from the softball league that my daughter plays for. That we do all the softball tournaments. They helped with a donation too, and they actually helped wrap. We had the whole half the softball team there wrapping gifts with us this year.
Nice,
So,
nice. It's cool. I hope y'all do is I hope y'all help twice as many families this year as you did last year. Because there are many people that need it, and they are genuinely. Did you ever have an opportunity to, when you did it? Did you ever meet the families? Did you ever go see them when you showed up, or were you a part of that, or did y'all do it from a distance?
no, I with me driving the truck, it's hard for me to be a part of the actual giving the gifts and showing up and everything. But I did have a hand in picking them out and playing around Walmart and the toy stores.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes it's just okay to be behind the scenes, and make things happen, man. That's neat. That I did not know that about you as much and how it worked and what all it took place. But that's another reason, that it makes us different here at BCB because of what it is we do here and how we do it and how we react to the community as a whole. I do like that. So you've been married 7 years? Is that you've been married 7 years?
Yes, sir.
Where is she? Where's she from?
She's from Mount Vernon. She works for the elementary school in the cafeteria.
Oh, nice, nice. And how long had you known her before you married her?
We were together a year before we got married. I met her. I delivered beer for Budweiser, and she was one of the managers at the Loves in Mount Vernon when I delivered to her store.
Oh, nice. Oh, true love at Loves. I think that's a story we need to tell up here. We got true love at Loves, right, Dylan? I mean, we found a love story at Loves put together right there.
Yes, sir. I was her beer delivery guy, and we hit it off. We've been together almost 8 years this year.
Oh, fantastic! I'm just going to tell you right off, and Jason, just so you know, you show up my house with a big load of beer, a big truckload of beer. I might be falling for you too. You know what I mean? Anybody that shows up with a truckload of beer for where I'm at, it probably might make the team. I'm telling you, you're on my team.
I'll keep that in mind, Dave.
So let me ask you real quick, Jason. How long you been driving a truck a while?
Almost 13 years.
Oh, you have? Who did you drove mostly dry box? You drive what all have you driven?
I drove dry box, reefer, cement sand hauling pneumatic trailers.
Yeah.
I've drove keg trailers. Never did much have done anything in flatbed or tanker, but dry bulk I've done a lot of the whole field, and mostly just out here over the road, the long miles, not too much of the short.
Yeah, the OTR road miles. That's all I really know. But I will tell you that don't start the flatbed now I'm just telling you, don't start it. Don't start. It's too late. You can't. It's hard to go from. it's hard to go from closing doors to crawling all over trailers and tarping. So I'm going to tell you right now, you're on the right track, 100%. Hey, so Jason, yeah. So riding your bike you like to do on your off time, right?
Riding my bike, fishing, and we do a lot of softball tournaments with my girls.
Oh, wow.
Mainly my middle child, my 13-year-old. We got one this weekend down in down there by Tyler, 2-day tournament. So I do a lot of that on my off time.
Nice. She's pretty good.
Yeah, she's pretty good. She's got 4 rings over the past 2.5 years. So
That's good stuff, man. And it sounds like a lot of fun. And it's nice that you do it with the family and take time to do that. Really, really cool. So, Jason, let's ask real quick, just to kind of get your take. You've been doing this 13 years. What's kind of your take on BCB in regards to the safety in the show? What is it you like about the show that we do on a regular? Because I know you're there, you're on. I kind of like to get your input. What is it you like most about it?
I love how we can all get together and do kind of a not really harp on the driver, but a critique of what they're doing or discuss open ideas and how y'all focus on safety first. And, of course, the weather that Bob does every day, Weatherman Bob. That saved me. I don't know how many times out here listening to his weather in the morning on my trips and stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate that. He works hard to make sure he gets the information to you guys, and to know that you use it and that you rely on it is important for us. That you're going to continue to do that, and I think that's one of the reasons why you do so well at what you do. You're trying to get as much information as you can. And Jay, I like to ask everybody as well, if you were the boss, the king bee, the guy that could make the decision, you had an opportunity to change something about the company, what would it be if you could change it for the better for everybody?
You want me to be honest with you?
Absolutely.
Nothing. This is the best company I've worked for, and I'm back for a second time. I should have never left the first time. So, to be honest, nothing, man. Y'all got it going good. Got good pay, good miles, great office staff, great boss. Rick, Rick and them are awesome. I've never felt more at home at this company. They actually care about you. They've done that change, man. I love it.
That's nice, Jason. And we appreciate you being here wholeheartedly. Look, I don't want anybody to ever think for a minute that the badge of honor, that driver of the month, is just something that we do monthly just because of routine. No, we take time, effort, and it is something that we want to recognize and to make sure that you know that you are well deserved in that, and that what you do is very, very, very much appreciated in how you do it. Thank you very much, Jason. Hey, thanks for coming on, letting us know a little bit about you, and letting us get to know you just a little bit more. Appreciate you, Jason.
Thank you, Dave, and it's a great honor. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. All right, everybody, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the show with a quick prayer and a moment to say thank you. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather before you today to ask for your grace in all things. We offer up praises to you for the many gifts that you have given us and bestowed upon us in our lives, and the blessings that we share with one another each and every day. Father, we also want to thank you for the people like Jason Cree that come into our lives and make it better by just doing what they do so well. Father, we want to say thank you for them, and thank you for each driver that steps forth and comes to this company and gives us the opportunity to work for them. Gives us the opportunity to make their lives a little bit better by doing what we can to make them better out there on the road. Father, thank you for each of them. Thank you on this Thankful Thursday. Thank you for everything that they do. We ask that you go ahead and continue to keep them safe, protect them, and watch over them. Make sure that they are doing everything that they can do to keep themselves safe and those people around them safe every moment that they can. Father, guide them, protect them, and place your hand on their wheel if need be. Watch out for them, watch out for what they do, and watch out for what they can do. Father, we thank you so much for everything on this Thankful Thursday. You have so many blessings upon us. let us be one upon someone else today in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Father, we ask all these things in your name. Amen. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks. Have a great day. Thankful Thursday. We will see y'all tomorrow.
June 2nd. June 2nd.
Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
So close. Oh.
Yes.
So,
So I'm just going to remind them to send those pictures in. Tell them Wednesday's the deadline. Pictures of your senior, not yourself. Oh. And then we have one anniversary. Okay, 5 years. Good morning. Happy Monday. Wanted to remind everyone, I made an announcement on Friday, but if you have a senior that is graduating, somebody in your family, someone you're just proud of and want to show off, we are putting a slideshow together. So please be sure to send those pictures in. You can send them to BCB Live or send them to my email at christy.self@bcbtransport.com. Please do that by Wednesday. No more than 2 pictures. You can do a then and a now or just a now, but please send those. We would like to showcase all of them and tell them congratulations. And today we have one anniversary, and it is for Marina Serrano. She is celebrating 5 years with BCB. Thanks for all your hard work, Marina. We really appreciate you. Everyone, please wear those masks, wash your hands, use that antibacterial, stay safe. Thank you. Thank you. Got this thing down. I'm a pro. Unless Jack's doing it.
Hey everybody, Sir Rick here. Hey, you are tuned in to BCB Live, the station that rocks transportation.
Your favorite show for weather?
Boy, it's pouring down rain and it's freezing. There's big old
Waves.
yeah, that
And news.
44 pounds of cocaine-coated cornflakes.
Yeah! That is a wake up in the news. That is great. This is also the place for great memories and love advice. I gotta admit, I have stolen many hearts.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say, would you do that Lady in the Tramp thing when you sucking on that noodle?
And don't forget the phrase that pays,
Cold, hard cage.
and much, much more.
The El Chapo family is a family that we could all take a little bit from. You know,
That wasn't an analogy, that was deductive reasoning.
well, you know Chewbacca wasn't real, right?
That's what I'm saying.
What?
Yeah,
So welcome to the show, and here's your hosts.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the afternoon show of BCB Live. This is the producer here hanging out with you guys on this Friday afternoon. So welcome to the show and welcome in. It's nice to see everybody's faces, or should I say names, here once again on the show. So thank you guys all for coming in today. Now, to get straight into things, we are at 2 days of no DOT reportable acts, or 3 days, 3 days of no DOT reportable preventable accidents, and 37 days of getting out and look. Just 1 day away from hitting that goal record, and 2 days away from breaking that record, which come Monday, I expect us to definitely be past that. I have full faith and full confidence that you guys can make that happen. So great job even getting up to 37 days. Initially, I definitely expect that to continue to rise. Now, as for some news, we have some news over on I-70 in Denver. As of right now, I-70 will be closed this weekend as the Colorado DOT works to shift traffic to the new lowered section of this project. The change, known as the Mile High Shift, will close both directions of I-70 between Washington Street and I-270 starting at 10 p.m. today, Friday the 21st, and lasting through Monday the 24th at 5 a.m. According to Denver 9 News, during the closure, the CDOT will move all 6 lanes of east and westbound traffic from the current raised viaduct to the new lowered section of the interstate, a difference of just about 60 feet. This will allow crews to then safely demolish the structurally deficient 57-year-old viaduct and build the future eastbound lanes of I-70. So during the construction in preparation for the shift, they will inadvertently dig up 7 fossils, which actually include a fossilized camel that date back to the Ice Age. Now, this whole shift is actually part of the $1.2 billion Central 70 project, which started in 2018 and will eventually reconstruct 10 miles of I-70, add an express lane in each direction, and simultaneously lower the interstate. Traffic is expected to reach its final configuration by late 2022, and landscaping and park elements along the interstate are expected to be completed sometime in 2023. So do expect this closure as we move into the weekend. If you are going up through that area, be just cognizant of the lane changes. There probably will be a bit of traffic as you move through there, and you can never be too careful while moving around. And speaking of moving around, a lot of times people find it difficult to move their electricity bill down. I know I personally have had a high electricity bill in the past, given it is Texas, and the AC will definitely pump up that electric bill pretty quickly. However, a secret cache of clean energy is actually lurking in our sewers, and there are growing efforts to put it to work in the battle against these rising energy prices. The U.S. Department of Energy estimates that we wash enough energy down the drain each year to power about 30 million homes. The sources are often everyday items, including hot showers, washing machines, and sinks. But evolving technology is making it easier to harness some of this mostly warm water. And funnily enough, in Denver, They are now constructing what is likely the largest sewer heat recovery project in North America. Over the next few years, a $1 billion remodel will turn the 250-acre site over a sewer, home to the National Western Stock Show and Rodeo, might I add, into a hub for art, education, and agriculture. This will include about 1 million square feet of new indoor space, all of which will be heated and cooled with energy from the sewer pipes below. Brad Buchanan, the CEO leading this redevelopment, said the project had already changed how he thinks about the best location for real estate. Big pieces of sewer infrastructure are now going to be influencing the price of gas emissions and energy costs over wherever you are building your house. And actually, according to a study by the National Western Center, the estimates of the project will mean it will actually annually avoid the carbon equivalent of driving an average gas-powered car around the equator 250 times, on top of being able to power what it normally can to begin with. So lots of interesting developments here in terms of alternative power. Hopefully this will lead to a situation where people can get power in places where they can't really get wind or solar as well, and maybe lead to a new form of energy that we see across a lot of urban areas. Now we are joined here by none other than everybody's favorite safety director and safety guy, Mr. Buckle Up Bob. So Bob, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing fine, producer. How's things going?
You know, they're going pretty well. I saw you reaching for your mic there. It was pretty, I saw you struggling for a second, and I was trying to buy you a few seconds while you were turning it on. And then,
I didn't realize I didn't turn it on, but no, everything's going good. Got a fun fact for you.
Okay.
You probably know this. We'll see if our drivers know it. But which travels faster? A Major League Baseball pitcher's fastball, usually the fastest are clocked around 105 miles per hour, or a sneeze?
I'm going to go with sneeze on this.
You are correct, but how fast?
I'm going to go with 250 miles per hour.
No, about 150 miles per hour. Now, the difference, the Major League fastball goes 60 feet. The sneeze will go about 27 feet. But still, 27 feet, your sneeze, right? And, you know, we talk about 6 feet, right, for social distancing. It goes 4 times that amount, you know, 4.5 almost, right?
27 feet is way longer.
Yes.
I thought that it was like, yeah, like you said, maybe 6 feet, 7 feet. You know, sneezes travel, but that's great. Is that like initial travel? Like if I sneeze right now, am I going to hit this wall? Or is that like I sneeze and it takes a few seconds to like wander over there?
Well, it would take a few seconds, but the end would reach there. You know, obviously not all of it, but yes, particles and germs would reach 27 feet.
That is incredible. It's disgusting,
yeah,
but it's incredible.
Over a longer distance, the Major League fastball. But again, it can travel 105 for 60 feet, and this can only do 150, but it will do it for 27 feet. So think about that when you don't think about covering up when you sneeze, right?
Hey, I always got to cover up.
I do. I put it right in my elbow. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially now I've been covering up. It's actually kind of crazy. I remember whenever this whole like pandemic first started, it's pretty like, man, why do I gotta wear a mask? This is weird. But now I feel weird walking out, and it's crazy how fast that can change. You know, how instantly I'm just like, well, now I just feel strange walking around without one. You know, so
I still wear mine. You know, my wife and I, we want to be. We've both had our shots, right? Both of them, and but again, that doesn't mean, you know, just like the flu, you can still carry it. You just won't have the worst effects from the virus. But you know, there's still others to think about, and you know, we also have a special needs grandson, so if we want to visit him and stuff, we want to be in that habit of not contracting anything that we can pass along to him. Not that it would hurt him a whole lot, but we just don't want to give that opportunity out there, right? And we both have elderly, you know, moms and dads that are in their 80s, and so it's just one of those things where, you know, it's not me I got to worry about, it's everybody else. You know, if I, God forbid, here at work, maybe somebody else. I know some drivers have grandchildren and children, you know, fighting cancer, and so, boy, I'd hate to give them something to carry back to them, right? And so you just got to realize that you still spread germs the same way, right? And it always amazed me that, or not really amazed me, but some of the basic simple things we're supposed to do are the same things you do with the common flu, right? Wash your hands a lot, right? Cover up when you're going to sneeze or cough. Don't come to work overly sick, right? So where you're going to spread it to everybody.
And I think it's a good kind of segue here, because just like we have to, even though we know that maybe we are already protecting against it, still be vigilant for other people in the fact that when we're on the roadways, even though we know that we're safe drivers, we still have to be aware, and we still have to play safe for everybody else as well, because you never know what, instead of carrying something, who's going to be crazy on the road. So you always got to be prepared, and you always got to be playing it safe whenever you're out there on the highways.
Yes, and many of our drivers have often said one of the things they use to put them in the right frame of mind when, a lot of drivers get frustrated when you ask them to go 3 miles under the limit. They're like, why? Well, why not, right? And a lot of the drivers have always put, I think, the best thing in perspective. I always picture that other vehicle as my wife, my grandson, whatever. You plug in any word there that makes you realize, hey, I don't want any harm to come to them, and so I'm going to drive accordingly. Not that that's a stranger, but that's one of my family members.
Yeah,
and that's a great way to look at it.
For sure. And even if it's not one of your family members, it's your fellow man. You, as much as somebody's going to cut you off and get on your nerves, make bad moves, and almost get into accidents, it is still somebody else in that car. You gotta do what you can to save that life. Someone else is there. Someone else has their entire life in that car, and you want to be able to protect that with whatever you can.
Are you a hockey fan, producer?
I watch a little bit of the Stars with my girlfriend's dad. That's about it. That's my extent. Yeah.
Well, we grew up in Illinois, just outside of St. Louis, so big Blues hockey fans, and went years without a Stanley Cup till a couple years ago, right? And so when we went back for the funeral and stuff, we had this one day where we had a little afternoon, so we took our granddaughter down to a place called Union Station, but it was nothing like when I lived there. It's now just basically 1 or 2 restaurants inside, but they built an aquarium, and a quite nice one. I'd have to say it's one of the best ones I've ever been in. And I've been to one in Houston. I've been to some others. It was really nice, but what I thought was fun, because I am a little bit of a hockey fan, and I tease everybody here, and I was talking to Herman, but what I found was in like January or February of 2019, some guy up in Massachusetts, right, caught a blue lobster. They're very rare to be a blue lobster, right? So he donated it to the St. Louis Aquarium that was built. And so later, about 6 months later, the Blues won their first Stanley Cup championship, right? So they named the lobster Lord Stanley, of course.
Nice.
But what I thought was neat was they had a little plaque up there and said, gave the odds. The Blues had a better chance of winning the Stanley Cup, which was 8,000 to 1, than that lobster had of being born blue.
Wow.
So the odds are just astronomically given. So, of course, being the St. Louis Blues, blue lobster, it was great. But they had him in a tank. I got to see him, right? And then they had a little hockey net and some fake plastic colorful claws, one holding the goalie stick, one holding the or a glove on the one crab claw and the other one holding the hockey stick. And they did name him Lord Stanley in honor of the Blues win. So if you want to win a Stanley Cup, Dallas, go get you a blue crab or a lobster.
We just have to, scour the globe and go into all the world's oceans to find a blue lobster.
They're really rare. But I just thought it was kind of funny. I didn't know any of that, and it just happened to be at the aquarium that day and seen it. But he's there, and he's blue. It is
cool.
funny.
If I'm ever in St. Louis, I will definitely make my way to the aquarium.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to see a blue lobster, I mean, it looks like any other lobster, but it's just blue.
Yeah, which is cool. My dad used to go diving a lot, actually, back in college and whenever I was a kid. So I've seen plenty of lobster. He always comes up and brings them out, but never seen a blue one. I think that'd be kind of cool, actually, to check that out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Who
So we got one person on the call here. So Jeff Marsh, what do you got for us, sir?
Yes, sir. You do. Now, Jeffrey Marsh, you need to go a little further deeper in that and peel that onion all the way back. Yes, you did. Right. You did, but yep. Yep. But what I mean by peeling the onion back, Jeffrey, that didn't happen until you got an ex St. Louis player by the name of Brett Hall that came down here and helped you win that cup. So again, you had to use St. Louis to get a cup. Yeah, you did. You weren't winning without. You didn't win one before without him. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But producer, it is Friday. It is Giveaway Friday, and it's time for.
Sorry, I had my mic muted that whole time. Donna Kaysen, if you are able to unmute yourself, then definitely give that a shot. If not, we will also take in written responses as well. And let me verify that. Okay, hold on. Need to continue doing this, filling the thing. And there you go, Donna. You definitely got it right. Congratulations. That is the phrase that pays right there. So you should be getting. What was it, Bob? Do you remember what our afternoon phrase that pays? How much?
No,
how much
I
that
was gone last Friday, and so I did not hear if it went out or what. But nobody got it last Friday?
Nobody got it last Friday.
Okay. All righty. Well, congratulations, Miss Donna. And again, yes, it is. It's once attention is lost, accidents do come across. And that was sent in by Mr. Justin Hayes. So we appreciate that, Justin. Keep them phrases coming in. Be on the show and again, it pays, right? Cool, hard, cash, as Big Blue likes to say. But this week we have been talking a lot about intersections, and Drive Safe had got all these points together for me and started the week off. And his fifth one he saved. And I actually seen a video today that we'll show Monday, or I don't know if we're going to show it or not, but I don't know if it made the final cut. But with the most common intersections that we don't even think about are the unmarked intersections. And these are driveways, right? Customers parking lots, etc. Because you stop and think about it, when you come out of a driveway, you're essentially teeing to a road, right? It's no different than coming to a T in the road where you can go left or right. Same thing out of a driveway. So technically it is an intersection that's unmarked. Customer parking lots, right? I know I've seen some where, they're this long for this many cars, and then a couple rows over later it extends out a little bit more. And so you've got all these little intersections going in and out around these parking lots that aren't marked necessarily. I know some, like Target, will have a stop sign up front by the store, but you really don't have a whole lot of markings for these intersections, and they're dangerous, right? Now, you're usually not going that fast, but when you pull out from a driveway onto a busy street, those people are, and it could be you driving on that busy street. So even though we're on the straightaway, we got to treat that when we're in these towns, that all these driveways and these businesses, these are like intersections, right? Because they've got driveways coming out of them. So I thought it was a great thing to just really kind of think about, and we do take it for granted. We just don't think about them in that way because they're not got the flashing lights or the big red sign or anything like that. So, but we do want to take them seriously. And, you know, same thing, truck stops, right? You've got trucks, you've got cars, you've got diesel pumps, you've got regular gas pumps, and you've got all these cars weaving in and out. And our biggest accident at these truck stops are backing, right? So you stop, if you really put that into reality, was we're backing in through intersections in a lot of these truck stops, right? Because I've seen where we've been hit when somebody's backing up behind a fuel island, right? So there's an intersection there because you've got the throughway and then you've got the pump itself. So, you know, it's just kind of be mindful of the fact that you would never back up in an intersection on a highway. Now, you have to in a truck stop, but just remember, that's an intersection. So if you were backing up on one, backing through an intersection on the highway, it would be extremely dangerous, and it still is in a parking lot. Same as pulling forward. And the reason that I think is great fitting because we are at 37 days with our Get Out and Look, right? So tomorrow, after today, we will tie the record. Again, we've done it twice already this year. So we need to beat it. So we're going to, tomorrow we'll tie it. Sunday, when we talk, after Saturday, we will set a new one. And when I see everybody again on Monday, we're going to have another record that's going to just keep extended every day that we go through. We are at 3 days without a preventable accident. So one of the things we want to look at is our weather. So started out this morning, we explained, we have all these geofences, but I just want to remind everybody, I don't take them down because it's too hard sometimes to put them up, and I've got words typed in there where I just got to subtly change some things. But the thing to remember is the green up here in the northwest and this yellow here in the southeast is not active. The only ones that are active are this orange, the blue, and the red for the thunderstorms. So the red down here is just strictly for the storms, severe storms. Supposed to be through all day, and we'll look at that a little bit to see if that maintained its strength all through the day. But the orange is the winds, and the reason I separate them, so is the blue. But the orange started way earlier today and is going to extend through today. And about now, the blue is already in there too. So just so I could have two separate ones and tell operations, hey, the blue is up and active, but it's not going to really get really high winds till about, you know, noon today it was supposed to. So we put that up. So we want to kind of see, let's see, you know, like here, we need to talk to Eric and see how he's doing in the wind. And we'll look at it, but he's going too fast if that wind is there. And again, that's forecasted wind. Same time with Mr. Samuel there. So we want to make sure that we've got that. And so here's kind of one of the things we do. This orange one, summary. There's strong winds expected at 9:30 today through 2300 this evening. Be prepared to pull over and ride it out. Under 50 miles per hour for loads under 10,000. Under 60 for loads over. And again, if it hits that 50, you just don't drive, right? Our blue one's kind of similar to the same thing. Not quite expected to be as gusty, but still pretty strong winds. So again, just so you know, and then here's our summary. Potential strong storms expected today. Possible hail and tornadoes. Do not drive in severe weather, right? And so this just kind of operations, all you gotta do is touch on them and you'll get that. So I want to show you, let's see what the weather actually did come up today. So here's our rain. Let's see what current weather radar is. And yes, this is exactly where we're supposed to fire up, right along that state line. And you can see if we zoom in here, should be Alexandria to Lake Charles and Lufkin to Houston. So we've got some fairly strong storms. Again, 44 corridor, Springfield, Missouri. Then it kind of angles up to Columbia, up there along the I-70 from St. Louis to Kansas City. And we got a few spot showers here in western Denver, up here in Idaho Falls. But you can kind of see just Iowa City down to Joplin. And then again, right along the Texas, Louisiana border. So here's what you can kind of see the winds. We got some swirling winds out here. And then some strong ones just off of Houston. And then a little bit of red right here up there going close to that south of Shreveport. Some snow in the upper elevations forecasted for today. But again, that's going to be way up in the mountains. The ground temperatures are just too warm. And then here's the big story. There you go. There's our wind gusts. So our guys that were kind of doing 70, they're out here, not quite into the wind yet, but they're headed that way. And so you can kind of see the forecast here was 63, potential 63 mile an hour gusts. Please, please, we don't drive in that. Let's see if we got any of that. Here you go in Utah. There's a 34 with a 47 mile an hour gust. We got 29 right there, 43. So these are actual reported gusts. So we are well above the 40s, which means there's a 51 there. Where's that one at? Doesn't quite tell me. Flagstaff, Pulliam International Airport, 51 mile an hour gusts. We got to really pull over. There is, where was that one at? Sholo Regional Airport, 52 mile an hour gusts right here, right along the New Mexico border. Up here in the Panhandle, Amarillo, 39 gusts, 38. Western Kansas, 36 mile an hour gusts. So we've got some really strong winds. Up here by Denver, Colorado Springs, 33 mile an hour gusts. So kind of let's go back to that geofence, and we're going to see, you know, that Flagstaff area to that state line. Oh, hit the wrong tab, Bob. Come on. There we go. So as you can see, we don't really have anybody moving currently. Get rid of that. And pull it back there. So let me exit out of there. And there it gives us our trucks back. So kind of see, we got one going up here in Utah. 60, already slowed it down. Mr. Shipman, great job. Thank you very much. So again, we've got some of these strong winds. We said up here in the Panhandle, you know, William Park, please slow down. You are in some strong winds, 43 mile an hour gusts. So again, we got to get with our driver managers. Driver managers, open up the geofence. If you see one of your trucks moving in here, all you got to do is, just like I did, touch on that truck. It will tell you how fast. Eric Souden going 5 miles an hour. Need to slow down. The winds are just too strong. Okay? And we just showed that on the previous map that they are sustained. We are seeing the 40s and even upper 40s to 50s up here in Flagstaff. So again, we got to watch the winds. Take the wind serious, folks. We need you to slow down, please. And so with that, we've got some videos. Right, Mr. Producer? So again, you know, this first one was just reminding them, and I got with the DMs today, sent them a message to, hey, get with the driver. Let's get a plan to get this off of the camera, the windshield, so we can see.